This is the by and by, and often the hours slide slowly along, gliding and gleaming after each day is done. Dark, delightfully tangled in the striated iris, miles above and to the west. Towards the ocean, where the boundaries of the world meet and death is again negotiated in the dusk, then drawn into dawn. What happens in the draw and the pull is the story only told in winter, after all the other stories are heard, of oceans in the afterlife, of the spirit world and our own. This is outside, being here, right now, where we said goodbye. For me, I didn't believe myself, in the dark, in the deep, in the light, in the morning, alone, lonely. Coffee steamed for a while, blown by the heater. The light was blue and so were you, laying there, sleeping, breathing, underneath creamy blankets, stirring and snoring now and then, waking early and wandering around the maze of floors, pattering and puttering, watering plants forgotten last week and stopping for a moment, and reflecting on the stillness of this space. I haven't been here for some time now. I'm usually absent somewhere on some kind of float, drifting along the currents, never still but halcyon nonetheless, as the foliage slowly slips by, breezy and charmed. Downward, upward, around and round the spinning whirl, pooled at the bottom of all those expectations. You woke and said bye, farewell to me and to we, and to the sound of dragon slippers on autumn mornings, rustling and tender, quietly effusing feelings of affection and resignation. I walked in straight lines and turned round and around, thinking this think, and thought how terrible I can be on the cooler side of all this. Just terrible. Just cold. Feeling it and feeling sorry, so sorry, I'm sorry, I retreat and repeat the phrase over and over again. I killed a spider last night and I apologized in earnest. My grandma was a spider, and her kin are mine. Easy steps around a post-on apartment, nothing to do and nowhere to be, other than in the tranquility of an in-between, emotionally equidistant from what was and what could have been. Like sunrise and dusk, the light is better here, but only for a time. Either waiting for the shadows to rise and fall from collected objects, or to scale and conquer them atop peaks, summited and flagged every day. These are dense countries and empty cities. And a home is a home, is a home is a home outside your own, where the neighbors sleep soundly and breezes still blow warm. The airy clear night hums along to diminished lights, peppered with swaths of dark protecting the damp earth, kept cool and hidden by thoughts running free, and to nowhere in particular. I'm foggy and unsure, but the nature of these moments sings slowly and lowly and lowly again. But not for those peaks of certainty of knowing I'm here because of what I chose. It's 8:37 p.m. and I'm only homely again. Mostly because I want to be. Mostly because I have nowhere to go. Amber-lit rooms and moods still dark and unsure of the winter, but waiting, wanting for something warm to come, to give reason to the cool, the cold, to make skin soft and earnest again. Under the blankets we held tight, not to each other, not to the bed, not to the gray light seeping through the cracks, through the slits and the slats of the blinds or curtains or sheets, stapled to walls. No, not those. Instead, we held on to ourselves and our clothes and our cloth, not letting the warmth, that precious heat, seep onto the other. We can be close, we can share, but not without permission, but not without gift, but not without compassion. The sun comes in whenever it wants, and I always wake at 8 a.m. and wonder why do I rise when I just want to sleep. Rest is such a commodity that is rarefied by productivity, valued as service, and still I sit half naked in my chair and type because No one is here anymore. My roommates are still at home, some 1,000 miles away, and I exist as a tourist in this land, in this scape, in this story. I have no part of other than footnote and furniture. Ben is in his office, and Kirsten is in her studio. Bennett sits in his room, and I wander downstairs. Steps up and down spiral up the walls. They rumble, not sing, and I hope that John or Rudy, there's a fire burning, complimenting food and stories and questions, the test for truths and not answers. And then become the quiet one up the road, up the stream, off the path, near the clearing by the river, where we burned the kindling and talked and told stories about water and the waves, with swells calling to us on nights like this, and stars would flicker and fade as eyelids lift slowly under lashes way down, dressed by drops of dew, drawn in the morning fog, in the fog, in the misty fog, yet to burn away.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is Eros and Caprice, spanning and describing valleys cut deep by rivers, pushing down on the rise of earth. Their games were played, and now what we have is a land and a space, open and full of vacant stories, slack-jawed and staring, waiting for what will come next. While waiting, they sing a song heard once on a radio in a shop during lunch in the winter, with a love unconfined and unrestrained, and over as soon as it began. The rhythms and shape never change, and EJ's voice strains against the repetition. This is the old way. Maybe Caprice will take a break, and then we can take it easy with the weights of history resting on the floor at our feet. Zydos looks on and says, "Hello, how are you? It is good to see you again."